Hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV, and the loud voice is back because we've just got another player. I don't even care if he's crap, and I don't care if he's not a 6, I'm not even bothered, because do you know what, there's no excuses now. But anyway, let me just tell the news and we'll get into my opinions. Liverpool have signed Ryan Gravenberch for €40 million plus 5 million add-ons, which is kind of underwhelming considering I thought it was going to be 30, but who gives a F? Fair play from Bayern as well for getting more money for a player that they barely played. But anyway, yeah, we got Ryan Gravenberch. He's not a 6, which is why a lot of people are going to be upset about this transfer, which I completely get. And I completely understand. I just don't see how necessary it is. We understand that the decision-making by the manager and people above the manager has been strange. And the replacements for players like Fabinho have been non-existent. And you can't say Gravenberch is a direct replacement unless we've got a stylistic change, which is awaiting. And let's say we want a more on-the-ball, progressive, non-traditional 6. Well, Gravenberch fits that mould more than Fabinho. But as a traditional 6, that's not what we've went out and got, besides Enzo, for instance. So now the question is, does Gravenberch go into the midfield or does Enzo? It's wild, but I want to know what you think about the signing. You know, does he come right into the first team? Some people are questioning, is he even better than Curtis Jones? Here's my input. 12 months ago, north of 12 months ago, he was one of the top prospects in Europe. I don't think that changes too much over the course of 12 months. Matheus Nunes has just joined Manchester City for, I think it was 50-60 million pounds. Matheus Nunes at one stage was one of the best prospects in Europe. He went to Wolves. You could say there was an arguable stagnate performance or time period where his performances weren't upper echelon, but now he's got the big move to Man City. Why? Because the attributes are there, and what made Gravenberch a top prospect, like Matheus Nunes, is the attributes, and the attributes for the top player is there. The physical attributes can definitely be developed over time. He's 6'3", and on top of this, in terms of his reading the game defensively, he's not Fabinho, but defending is an art that you can learn through mentality. There's players who have been terrible defenders who have ended up being good defenders, and the reason why I raise this is because there's an element to where defending is a natural art, but there's many elements to where it's one that you need to learn. It's one that's mental, positioning, timing, everything, all these things that matter. Gravenberch can learn this, I think, under the right coach. And now we think, well, is Klopp the right coach to grow Gravenberch into the player that we could all expect him to be? Most certainly. And the reason why I'm happy with this is because now there is no excuse. We did get a number 6 in Enzo, irregardless whether you think he's good enough or not. If he comes in and does the job good enough for us to win trophies, that's all that matters. And it might not be him directly who wins us the trophy, but it will be a part of him being in the being in the team systematically. And the same goes with Gravenberch. If Gravenberch now comes into the team and plays this box-to-box progressive 6, non-traditional 6 role, and he does it well, then that's great. And you know what? There's a lot of positives with a player like Gravenberch if it works out. You've got what I think is going to be a really exciting player, one that'll get you off your seat. He's good on the ball. He's a good ball progressor. I like that. I like the element of someone who's better on the ball. And this is why I wanted Fabinho gone. I think Fabinho's staying. Although he is a traditional 6, I don't think he is any better than what Endo has been in recent time. I'm not saying he's not better than Endo. I think Fabinho is certainly better than Endo, but I don't think he's been better than Endo in recent time. I haven't even watched Enzo and I still believe this, you know what I mean? Fabinho was so average last season. So it's good. What I'm saying is good. Isn't the replacement directly, but the fact is something new. And now that Gravenberch could even be taking the role we all thought Enzo was going to take, I now predict Gravenberch will take that role. Enzo will be the backup, and that's going to be the system going forward. And I think Trent's going to stay at right back, which a lot of people are probably going to be upset about. But it's still open for possibility for him to go into a 6 or a double pivot 6, however we want to do it. But I'm happy with the signing. It's not a big amount of money, so the risk is very minimal. I think €40 million, what's that going to be? 35 to 30 million pounds. That is a very small risk in the modern market, people. This is a very low risk, high reward signing. I think that's smart business. It's not one that I sit there and say it's going to go and win us league titles, but I've got out of my head us competing for league titles. Not that we can't, or not that I've got no faith, but based on probability, it's very unlikely we're going to get right back into a title race based on the business that we've done, both ins and out. But the ins are still promising to a degree. McAllister and Szoboszlai, big hits, humongous hits, me gusta. And then Gravenberch, I don't mind it. It weren't number 1 option, but we never got number 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. So now it's important to analyse, well, will this guy be good enough, or does he have the potential to be a star in our team that's going to help us win trophies? I think he has the qualities there. Now we need to question attitude, mentality. You see a lot of people throwing in the fact, well, he was turned down by Tuchel and Nagelsmann. Well, Nagelsmann brought him in, and Tuchel came in fairly early on in the season, and he ended up not wanting him and not wanting to use him. Bear in mind, Bayern Munich are one of the best European teams in the world, and their midfield is so elite and so established to many degrees. It's understandable to think that Gravenberch couldn't get into the team in his first season as a 20-year-old. And I know he didn't even play that much, and when he did play, he never had a great influence. But I think it's so different now that he's coming to our team. And, you know, he's going to be around examples. He's going to be around Virgil van Dijk, who's his captain, by the way. Jurgen Klopp, who's a well-respected manager. You know, you look around at the Liverpool team, you don't want to fuck about with some of those players, you know what I mean? And I think that's going to matter when it comes to his attitude problem, because some people claim he's got an attitude problem. I don't know this, but let's say this is true. Good luck being a bitch in front of your captain, mate, and good luck doing it in front of Virgil, because he'll give you one of those, you know, yo mama slaps when you were younger, and maybe a belt, like one of proper crazy shit. Anyway, yeah, that's why I'm thinking maybe, just possibly, this could work out. I have faith in the attitude aspect. I have faith in the technical aspect. Let's just see how it fits systematically, and hopefully, you know, if we do go more compact like what we did at the end of the Newcastle game, the need for a traditional out-and-out six will be less. So I'm not sitting here saying this is great, but what I am saying is that we've went and got a body. I wanted bodies. We got 2 more midfielders. I wanted 2 more midfielders. Now I think it'd be great to go and get a centre-back. I'm not going to lie. We've got a few more hours of the window. Liverpool and Nat Phillips is just fucked off to Celtic to go and win a league title. So let's go and sort out. Nat Phillips is upgraded, by the way. He's going to be playing in Champions League football opposed to our friggin' European football heritage. But anyway, let me know what you think about the transfer in the comments down below. I think it's interesting, don't you? I think it's to a degree interesting. But yeah, I suppose I understand why some people might not be too happy or best pleased about the transfer in any way. I do think there's room for disappointment, but I think it's just one that we've got to try and back, you know, and you know, if you're going to support your team, whether or not we're competing for league titles, then, you know, I understand if you don't want to support us this season. Otherwise, I'm a fan who supports us through the highs and the lows, and regardless, you know, I think that at least we went and got the bodies, and we can work with that, you know what I mean? Is it enough to win the Europa League? Yes. Is it enough to win a League Cup or FA Cup? Absolutely. So therefore, you know, I'm not expecting us to win the league. I'm more expecting compete, make it exciting for whatever reason, whether it's an FA Cup or Europa League or whatever. Push as high up the table as you can, and let's make this the first of many beautiful years, you know what I mean? Because it is a rebuild, guys. We've got to remember that. I'm not trying to say let's give FSG leeway. You understand my stance on FSG, but as they aren't going to go, and they're not going to go anytime soon, I don't see the point in me just going FSG this, FSG that. I might just look at it as a positive and say, if we can be better than last season, that's a positive. And then if we can continue to go on that trajectory like the way we did when Klopp first came in, then perfect. I can align with that. I can align with improvements. I can align with a project. I can do these things. And, you know, I've seen my team not win for years and years and years. So even if we can just win a few bits and bobs here right now, great. But let me know what you think. Smash a like on this video. Gravenberch, here we friggin' go. And we've got 4 new midfielders to look forward to. But probably no centre-back. If I'm going to make a prediction, we're not going to get a centre-back. But there's been a couple of reports. So we'll see. Anyway, this is Deadline Day with James. Smash a like. Sayonara. Up the Gravenberch. Back him. Come on, back him. Let's not make this a proper weird thing where we're like, oh, he's crap and he's not a six. Just back him, will you?